Bonjour à tous, hello everyone, bienvenue, welcome. Aujourd'hui, c'est une autre émission d'apprendre le français avec Madame. Today is another episode of Learn French with Madame. Aujourd'hui, on va parler au sujet de BND 2, le livre bleu, so the blue book, chapitre 8, vocabulaire 2 en pleine forme à Dakar, et c'est partie 2. So we're in chapter 8 of the second book of BND, the blue book. We're also in the second set of vocab, our second video. So we're all on the twos. So this part of the video, or this part of the vocab, is all talking about phrases to say that you should do things or you should not do things, and agreeing with somebody or sympathizing with them, and all of those types of things, saying what's wrong. So let's dive right into it so the video isn't super long. We are going to talk all about phrases today, so stay with me, but I promise they're going to be useful, and a lot of them you might have already seen before. Okay, donc on commence. So we're all talking about expressions, like I said. En premier, we have je suis au régime. Now, we've seen that régime word before. We've seen that before in our last video. We know that that word means diet. So, je suis au régime, what do you think that whole phrase means? Je suis au régime. Excellent. I'm on a diet. Très bien. Okay, répétez s'il vous plaît. Je suis au régime. Excellent. And if you want to say it a little bit fancier, remember you can take that S and that A in sweet and O and combine it together to make a Z sound. So you'd say je suis au régime. So make the Z O régime sound to kind of say it a little bit fancier. So je suis au régime instead of je suis au régime and breaking it up. Okay, on continue. J'ai mal partout. J'ai mal partout means I ache everywhere. J'ai mal partout. I ache everywhere. J'ai mal partout. OK? Donc, répétez. J'ai mal partout. Excellent. Très bien. OK? So, we have j'ai mal partout. I ache everywhere. Excellent. On continue. La prochaine mot de vocabulaire. So the next vocab word, j'ai grossi. You've learned this verb before, that grossi. You learned that in Français 2, in French 2. Chapitre 6, our food unit. J'ai grossi means I have gained weight. J'ai grossi. I have gained weight. Okay, répétez. J'ai grossi. Excellent. J'ai grossi. I've gained weight. OK? On continue. Je suis stressé. Je suis stressé. Can you translate this for me? Je suis stressé. What does this mean? Je suis stressé. Parfait. I am stressed. Je suis stressé. I'm stressed. So we know je suis, we've learned that in French 1. That's not something new. Stressé is a cognate. It looks like what it is in English. So je suis stressé. I am stressed, or I'm stressed. OK? La prochaine mot de vocabulaire, c'est facile. C'est un mot qu'on a déjà à apprendre. It's a word we've already learned. Je suis fatigué. Tell me, what does je suis fatigué mean? Je suis fatigué. Excellent. I am tired. Je suis fatigué. So you have je suis stressé, je suis fatigué. These are all things that you could say when I say comment ça va? You could say, oh, madame, je suis stressé. Madame, I'm stressed. Or, oh, madame, j'ai besoin d'une sieste. Je suis fatigué. I need a nap. I am tired. Je suis fatigué. On continue. Our vocab word here is bold and underlined because I put it in a whole phrase. So, tu n'as qu'à te reposer. Tu n'as qu'à te reposer. So that tu n'as qu'à part just means all you have to do is. So all you have to do is, and then the second part is rest. We learned that se reposer in our last video meant to rest. So tu n'as qu'à te reposer means all you have to do is rest. OK, répétez s'il vous plaît. Tu n'as qu'à. Excellent. All you have to do is rest. C'est facile. OK? On continue. Tu devrais. Again, we've seen this and heard this before. Tu devrais means you should or you must. Because remember, that's the verb devoir. And the verb devoir means to have to. So tu devrais, you must or you should. Tu devrais. So I could say tu devrais ne fumer pas. You should not smoke or you must not smoke. Tu devrais ne fumer pas. You must not smoke. OK, on continue avec pourquoi tu ne blank pas. Pourquoi tu ne dormes pas? Why don't you sleep? So pourquoi tu ne pas means why don't you? Pourquoi tu ne and then pas. We could say pourquoi tu ne fais de l'exercice? Why don't you exercise? Pourquoi tu ne fais de l'exercice? Why don't you exercise? On continue. Tu ferais bien de. Tu ferais bien de means you would do well if, or you would do well too. Like it would be better for you if you did something. Okay, so tu ferais bien de, you would do well too, or you would do well too. Okay, répétez. Tu ferais bien de. Excellent. Tu ferais bien de. You would do well too. Like I could say, tu ferais bien de ne sauter des repas. You would do well not to skip meals, etc. OK? On continue. La prochaine mot, il faudrait que. We've seen il faut que, and we know that means one must or you must. So il faudrait que is similar. It means you should. Il faudrait que you should. So if I say il faudrait que tu manges léger, you should eat light. Il faudrait que tu manges léger. You should eat light, as in eat healthy meals. Okay? Prochain mot de vocabulaire, we have more expressions coming up. So we have ce n'est pas grave. These expressions are all talking about like back to somebody, saying if somebody says, "Oh, j'ai mal partout," they say I ache everywhere, giving them a response back. So we have ce n'est pas grave. I'm sure you've heard Madame say this quite a few times. I say c'est pas grave though. I take out that ne and I say c'est pas grave. Just means it's not serious. It's not that bad. No big deal kind of type thing. So ce n'est pas grave. It's not that serious. It's no big deal. Ce n'est pas grave. And when you say it really fast like the French, you say c'est pas grave and you drop that N apostrophe. Okay, so répétez s'il vous plaît. Ce n'est pas grave. Excellent. On continue. Ne t'en fais pas. You've heard this in a couple of our many musicales songs. Ne t'en fais pas means don't worry. Ne t'en fais pas. Don't worry. Like Hakuna Matata. Ne t'en fais pas. Don't worry. Okay, répétez. Ne t'en fais pas. Excellent. Très bien. Ne t'en fais pas. Don't worry. Prochaine. Ça va aller mieux. Ça va aller mieux. Take a wild guess. What do you think ça va aller mieux is? You should know all of these words in this sentence. You've seen every single one of them before, and you've learned them before. So let's see if you can put it together. Ça va aller mieux. All right, if you guessed it's going to get better, excellent, bon travail, good job. Ça va aller mieux, it's going to get better. Literally, if you translate it, it's going, and then better is mieux. So ça va aller mieux, it's going to be better. It's going to get better. On a presque fini. We're almost done. Mon ou ma pauvre. So a couple years ago, we read pauvre Anne, which means poor Anne. So mon pauvre or ma pauvre just means poor thing. Literally, if you translate it, it means my poor. But when we translate it into English, we say poor thing. If you feel bad for somebody and they're really sick, you say, "Oh, you poor thing," like something really bad has happened to them. So mon ou ma pauvre, poor thing. Okay, I just want to say that last word. So répétez pauvre. Excellent. Pauvre just means poor. Not like poor money, but poor as in like, oh, you poor thing. Okay, on continue. Je te plains. Je te plains. This one's kind of hard, so I'm going to give this one to you. Je te plains just means I feel sorry for you. Je te plains. I feel sorry for you. Je te plains. I feel sorry for you. OK, répétez, je te plains. Excellent, très bien. Excellent, très bien. Et c'est tout le vocabulaire. And that was all of our vocab. So hopefully the phrases aren't super bad. The phrases are really not that difficult this chapter, like this part of the vocab. And there's not a lot of vocab either, but they're just, it might take a little bit of memorizing or getting used to, just some of the bigger phrases. But again, most of them you've already learned too. So hopefully that helps. Okay, si vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas à m'envoyer un email. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me an email. Mais c'est tout pour aujourd'hui et c'est tout pour cette vidéo. That's it for today and that's it for this video. À la prochaine. Until next time. À plus.